In this series, we're going to be focusing on the shortage of skills for tech in Lancashire. I'd like to introduce our guest for the day. This is Paul Aisthorpe of Code Lancashire. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Gary.
Paul, do you want to start off by telling us a bit about the history of Code Lancashire and why it's available now?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this programme. So the history of Lancashire, well, it started, the funding for the skills gap, if you like, in the tech sector started several years ago in a small way, and particularly Lancashire, probably about 4 or 5 years ago with some pilot schemes. And because of the success of those programmes, it's grown now to multi-million pounds of investment into skills bootcamps in a variety of different sectors. But as you highlighted already, there's a skills gap in the tech sector. Developers and startup companies and even larger companies are struggling to recruit the right skills in technical roles and even non-technical roles as well within their organisations. So the government and the Department of Education, in this case, through the Lancashire County Council, have funded a programme. The Code Lancashire is actually the name of our programme. Our business is Scalability, and we're contracted to Lancashire County Council and the Department of Education to deliver this programme. We've called it Code Lancashire. And we're into our second year of running. And the big purpose, of course, is filling that skills gap for employers who are struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So can you tell us a bit more about the specifics of the programme, how it works, who's involved?
Absolutely, yes. Well, any skills bootcamp is built on the premise of up to 16 weeks of quite intensive training and learning for the learners. And our programme is 12 weeks of a syllabus, which combines employability and technical skills as well. So whilst we're delivering a lot of technical skills workshops, we are also focusing on employability as well, because one of the fundamental aims of the programme, again, is to help people transition into the world of tech. And because of the skills gap, the employers, the technical companies, need to be looking outside of existing trained people and bringing people in from other sectors as well. So we're fundamentally delivering a 12-week intensive training programme for people to get themselves into a position for entry-level roles, junior developer roles, etc. So it's delivered over 12 weeks. It has three or four key elements to it. Group workshops, where we're doing the technical and the employability learning. It also involves some small group sessions as well, which work on for people that perhaps are not quite keeping up to speed with the main course. But we also offer some one-to-one coaching as well around employability. And we also have a profiling tool which helps people think about how they can adapt to a new role in a new company and a new sector, and quite often.
Right. Excellent. And who is the programme aimed at?
Yeah, the programme's aimed at anybody that's got a real interest in finding work in the technical world, in the tech world. And it's an exciting sector, isn't it? It's very dynamic. There's a lot of businesses in Lancashire as well that are starting up and on a real scale-up programme as well. So it's open to people that have really got a real desire to get involved in that really dynamic industry, that dynamic sector. Right. So anybody over the age of 19 that's living in Lancashire and has got a right to work in the UK, that's it. So it's open to anybody. It's those three criteria. And I suppose the fourth criteria, which is the most important one, they've got a real desire and a real passion for getting involved in this sector.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously that you take great detail in making sure you profile and get the right type of student. So typically what backgrounds those students have?
Well, that's really interesting. We've delivered to over 100 learners now since we started. And there's such a diverse range of people coming through with a diverse range of experience. Obviously, we're looking to support people that are wanting to return to work and not currently working. So we get quite a few people coming from that source, if you like. But we've had people coming from the teaching profession, other professions, from administrative roles, from retail roles, management roles in retail, all sorts of different roles. And it really is highlighting, I suppose, the exciting prospect that the tech sector actually provides.
Yeah, absolutely. And how would you say employers should get involved? And if they did, what would be the benefit for them?
Well, absolutely, great question, because it fundamentally, the funding is fundamentally to help the skills gap with the employers. So whilst we're training learners, our whole aim is to involve the employers right from the very start of this. And so, just for example, we're actually launching into Cumbria with a similar program next month, and we're hosting a meeting with the employers as the start of that process, which is exactly what we did in Lancashire. We got employers on board and said, "What do you want out of this program? Give us input." For example, I'm not technical, by the way, so I'm not going to talk technical language. But what languages are you working in? What programming language? What do you need? What skills particularly are you missing? Is it in the project management team? Is it in the development team? Is it in the customer-facing team? But what are your real challenges around recruitment, and what do we need to be doing in this program to meet those needs? So that's the very first thing that we want employers to get involved in. Just come and talk to us and tell us what you need. The second thing is, second, third, and fourth, and fifth thing is, as the program is running, is get involved in the program. Come and do a talk at one of the employability sessions. Tell us about your company. Tell us what you're recruiting for. Tell us the skills that you're looking for. Get to know the learners. Mock interviews. Help us with mock interviews. Get people the interview process. Yeah. Interviews are daunting in itself for most people. We don't go to interviews every single day of the week or every week. So, but going into an interview in a new sector, a new role, in a new company, in a new sector is really daunting. So, mock interviews. Come and help us, just at the events that we put on for the learners, meet the employer events that we put on. Come and meet the learners. I mean, we say to employers, what better chance have you got with connecting with your future talent by getting to know this cohort for 12 weeks? You don't have to be here every session, but come along, get involved. So that's how employers can get involved. And then obviously, at the end of the process for the learners, we actually provide them with a guaranteed interview. That's part of the process and part of the appeal for the learner as well. So employers, when you've got jobs available, think of us, junior development roles, entry-level roles, internships even, but anything like that, just think about us and we've got 30 people potentially on a cohort coming to the end of their learning, about to finish, looking for work. So, just think of us.
Good. And can you give us a flavour of success? So give us a couple of examples of, some students that have come out of this programme and flourished.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many good examples, but just a couple that spring to mind, from cohort one actually, because just to add to this as well, we don't expect people to get into work immediately on completion of the program. We work with them beyond the workshops, the learning part, and help them for up to 6 months. Help them get into work, the right job, the right company. So from cohort one, we had a young lady who joined the program, actually was thinking about leaving because wasn't quite sure whether it was right for her, wasn't quite sure whether, development and actually software development was right for her. However, we matched her with a coach and we introduced her to some employers that were looking for roles that weren't necessarily pure development coding roles, but they were fundamental to the success of their company, were roles that were customer facing, but provided a link between the clients and the developers and the technical people. And obviously there were different languages being spoken, metaphorically speaking, between development and client. And she is very good and had lots of skills that helped that communication piece between the client and the developers about what was required and kept that loop going. She's been in that role now for over 6 months. We know that and flourishing. And, it's a real success story because she may have left our program, but she found a really good role. I mean, the second one is just a more current one, but from cohort one as well, we we actually had the company here, MTS Mindtech Services, presenting here yesterday to the cohort that we're currently delivering to, and they provide software to the mining industry globally, working out of Lancaster, and they've recruited a few weeks ago someone from cohort 1 who is a pure coder developer, and they work a lot with data. They basically take data and present it and create, through software, very visual dashboards, if you like, for the mining, for decision makers to make good decisions about the mines and how efficient they are and how productive they are. And they recruited somebody from cohort 1 who excelled on the coding side and the data science side. So those are a couple of really good examples, but we've got many more.
Absolutely. Great stuff. So finally, if employees are interested, how should they get in touch with you, and how would you see the next steps being, and when is the next program?
Well, yeah, employers and learners can access us and get in touch with us through the website, which is www.codelancashire.tech. And on there, all our contact details, pick up the phone, contact us, email us, whichever. And the next step then is we'll have a chat. Let's just have a chat. We operate out of Fraser House in Lancaster, which is a co-working hub, a tech co-working hub. And we deliver from there as well. Come and meet us there, or we'll meet via Zoom or Teams. And we'll just get to chance to meet you and get to know you. So that's the best way to get in touch. And the next cohort was the next question, wasn't it? The next cohort starts in mid-September. So plenty of chance for learners to apply, and plenty of chance for employers to get to know us and us to get to know them. So you can help us inform the next cohort and the next syllabus as well. So yeah.
Excellent. Right. So, well, thank you for joining me today, and I wish you well come September in the next course. Thanks for joining me today, Paul.
Thanks very much, Gary. Thanks for inviting me.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
All right.